When we think about the origins of the Catholic Church, many people assume it began with a single dramatic moment. But the truth is far more fascinating and complex. The foundation of what we know today as the Catholic Church wasn't an instant event, but rather a gradual process that unfolded over decades and centuries. Today, we're going to explore this remarkable journey from its humble beginnings in 1st century Palestine to becoming the world's largest Christian institution. Let's start with the very beginning. From the traditional Catholic perspective, the Church was founded by Jesus Christ himself when he spoke those famous words to Peter. "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." From Matthew 16:18. Catholics consider this the foundational moment, with the activation occurring at Pentecost, about 50 days after Easter, when the Holy Spirit descended upon the apostles. This is the theological foundation that Catholics hold dear. However, the historical reality presents a more nuanced picture. In those early years following Christ's death and resurrection, there wasn't a formal institution called the Catholic Church as we understand it today. The followers of Jesus were initially known as followers of the way, or simply Christians, a term that first appeared in Antioch around 40 to 50 AD. These early believers were essentially a Jewish sect that believed Jesus was the promised Messiah. The 1st century, from 30 to 100 AD, saw Christian communities scattered throughout the Roman Empire under apostolic leadership. Figures like Peter, Paul, and John. But here's what's crucial to understand. There wasn't yet a unified hierarchical structure. These were independent communities, connected by shared beliefs and occasional letters from apostolic leaders. The real institutional development began in the 2nd and 3rd centuries. This is when we see the emergence of the episcopal structure, the system of bishops that would become central to Catholic organization. We also witness the gradual emergence of Roman primacy, the idea that the Bishop of Rome held special authority over other Christian communities. Now, here's a fascinating historical detail that many people don't know. The term Catholic itself, meaning universal in Greek, first appears in the writings of Ignatius of Antioch around 110 AD. In his letter to the Smyrnaeans, Ignatius wrote, "Wherever the bishop appears, there let the people be. Just as wherever Jesus Christ is, there is the Catholic Church." This is the first documented use of the term Catholic Church in Christian literature. This gradual development continued through the centuries. The brutal Roman persecutions, rather than destroying these early Christian communities, actually strengthened their bonds and organizational structures. When Emperor Constantine issued the Edict of Milan in 313 AD, granting religious tolerance, Christianity had already spread from Britain to Ethiopia, from Spain to India. Constantine's conversion marked a pivotal turning point. The Council of Nicaea, in 325 AD, established fundamental Christian doctrines that remain unchanged today, including the divinity of Christ and the concept of the Trinity. This wasn't just theological organization. It was the Church defining its institutional identity for generations to come. As the Roman Empire crumbled in the West, the Church stepped into the leadership vacuum. Monasteries became centers of learning, preserving classical knowledge through the Dark Ages. The papacy gradually assumed not just spiritual authority, but temporal power as well, filling the void left by collapsed imperial structures. The medieval period saw the Church reach unprecedented heights of influence. The Crusades demonstrated the Church's ability to mobilize entire nations. Gothic cathedrals rose skyward as architectural marvels. Universities were founded under Church auspices, giving birth to scholastic theology. Thomas Aquinas and other great thinkers synthesized Christian doctrine with philosophy, creating intellectual frameworks that endure today. However, with great power came corruption. The late medieval period witnessed scandals that shook the Church: the Avignon papacy, the Great Western Schism, and the selling of indulgences. These abuses set the stage for Martin Luther's Protestant Reformation in 1517, which permanently fractured Western Christianity. The Church responded with the Counter-Reformation, launched by the Council of Trent from 1545 to 1563. This clarified Catholic doctrine and addressed many abuses that had sparked Protestant criticism. The Church survived the Enlightenment, the French Revolution, and 2 world wars, adapting while maintaining its core mission. The 20th century brought Vatican II, the most significant church council in centuries. From 1962 to 1965, bishops revolutionized Catholic practice. Mass could be celebrated in local languages, greater emphasis was placed on lay people, and the Church adopted a more open stance toward other Christian denominations. Today's Catholic Church faces modern challenges: secularization in the West, the clerical abuse crisis, but also explosive growth in Africa and Asia. What emerges from this 2,000-year journey is a story of remarkable resilience and adaptation. So here's my question for you. What surprised you most about the Church's gradual development rather than instant foundation? Was it learning that the term Catholic Church didn't appear until 110 AD, or perhaps how the institutional structure evolved over centuries? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear which aspect of this foundational story resonates most with your understanding of church history.